Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Stick or Bomb podcast, the show where we select a handful of games and decide on one that we'll play for the week. We'll return to discuss that game on the next episode to decide which games stick with us, tantalizing our taste buds, or bomb and fail to delight any of our palates. This second episode, we are going to actually be going through the recent Sony State of Play and just giving our takes on some of the new stuff that's coming out for PlayStation. At the end of the episode, though, we are going to start with our first pick of the three games, one of which each of us has brought to the table here. And we're going to decide on one of those games to talk about next week and bring another set of three with us when we do so. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. I am Tim, also known as Ted_Boggins online, and with me I've got Chris and Val, as always. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, now would be a great time to do that.
Hey there, listeners. Chris Brettsy on all platforms. How y'all doing?
And Ryan, Val Hero on pretty much everything. It's the go-to name.
All right, and today, as stated, we are going to be discussing our thoughts on the Sony State of Play, which I'm going to run in the background here for people's viewing enjoyment. We won't be on video today for that purpose. So let's jump right into it. I am going to go ahead and start that. The State of Play did open with one of my personal favorite franchises here, Monster Hunter. I'm actually going to skip a little bit ahead because I don't want to see some of these monsters to their first official announcement that was a surprise. Surprise announce Shinobi, the Art of Vengeance. What do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised. I mean, we knew Sega was going back into the in the catalog onto the bench and bring out some new stuff. But this looks really cool. I don't know if it's a search action game or if it's just a straight up, linear, forward through kind of game. Kind of looks like the latter. Looks really cool though. Art style's dope.
Yeah, I agree. I
think
think the art is like fire. It is really nice looking.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It's for what it looks like it's going to be. It looks real nice.
Kind of reminds me to an extent of like when they rebooted Mega Man. What was that game called? Mighty Number 9. Like the movement looks that sort of dash induced movement sort of thing. I hope it's better than Mighty Number 9 though. That game was not my favorite.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
Big disappointment. But yeah, that Shinobi game looks cool. I'll play it. I hope it's not a full price title. It doesn't look like it should be. Seems like a $40 title to me. But if it's in that ballpark, I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I never got super into the first Shinobi, but this one does seem neat, to say the least. It looks like the sort. Like it almost looks a little bit like Dead Cells, actually. When I'm like actually looking at this again, there's some like very movement action based stuff. It looks a little bit more combo based, I would say, than Dead Cells, but it gives me that sort of vibe.
Yeah. You were saying, what were you?
It looks like something that'll be in a humble bundle within 18 months.
I can see that
for real.
It feels like it's one of those. It's going to be one of those games I suspect that doesn't have much replayability.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see speedrunners playing the shit out of it, but yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
That will be the bundle it will be in.
Replay value not quite.
And now we could all be shocked. We could all be shocked that it could come out and it could be a Shinobi meets Dead Cells kind of thing where it's
Yeah.
run based. That
Yeah.
that would be cool as fuck. I would definitely play that a lot.
And that's August 29th of this year. That's coming up.
Yep.
The next thing that they showed was a little bit of a surprise to me. They took a break from Sonic Racing for a while before showing this new trailer for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which is it looks like your typical kart racer. They're doing some similar stuff to the more recent Mario Karts and some of these other Sonic racing games. I'm a big Mario Kart guy. I never personally got into Sonic racing, but I like their like time travel idea here. It seems sort of like the Ratchet and Clank game that came out early on in the PlayStation 5 era.
I was going to mention that I like the idea of the instant changing of the world, the level, like they did with Rift Apart. Whether that works in a racing game like this, I don't know. It kind of looks like whoever's in the lead gets to decide which world they go to. That's kind of a neat idea, if so. But boy, Sega's taking a big swing here because Switch 2 is coming out this year, by all accounts, and almost certainly is going to launch with a new Mario Kart. I don't know what they're thinking if they're launching against that.
I wonder if that's the point.
Oh wow! Closed network test on the 21st. That's only a couple days away here. We'll
That's this weekend.
maybe I'll hop in there and check it out. It does look it looks more interesting than some of their other games. I'm definitely planning on at least playing it. I hope they have a demo for it. That would be ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get a fair shake.
Yeah. All right. After Sonic, we've got some big explosions coming up here. What's this big explosion?
Digimon.
Oh, that's right. This is Digimon. Their strange train Digimon game. I have no idea what to expect out of this. I played their like Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth or whatever. That was the last Digimon game I played, but I mean, I'll give this one a go. I'm a Digimon guy. I was always a big fan of the digital monsters, as it were.
The IP must still be a thing in like Japan or wherever, because like when was the last thing we had in North America that was Digimon? Like it's not even on TV anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely still an anime in Japan. I don't know what the most recent iteration is, but they've done quite a few reboots and just new seasons of Digimon. It looks like what you'd expect. See some War Greymon. I see some Omnimon going on here. I see some.
Yeah, you know, when they showed this trailer initially, I'm watching this as it was broadcast. I thought for sure this was like a new Shin Megami Tensei, maybe, because like they're going for that like more mature vibe there. It seems like they're not like aiming for like the the Pokemon crowd. Maybe they're trying to like broaden their horizons a little bit.
That's sort of the direction they've been going with their games. Like the Cyber Sleuth games are straight up like visual novels almost, with Digimon combat spattered in between. I
can't pretend like I know a lot about it.
Yeah, I am here for it. I don't know that many like it's for the Digimon people, right? Like that's who's buying those games. There's only a certain subset of people that are going for it.
I must say, it does look like they're turning it into an RPG. Like even just the title of it was Digimon Story. So I'm wondering if it's going to be more like Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Digimon?
Digimon story sounds like RPG-esque RPG to me, but we'll see. Only time will tell. They haven't really shown too much as
Yeah, we
far
haven't
as
really gotten much
gameplay.
other than yeah.
But this next one looks pretty neat. The China Hero Project, now known as Lost Soul Aside. Whoa.
Now correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
This game's been in development for like a decade, right? Like I remember this game being announced some time ago, or am I crazy?
I would have to fact check that. I actually don't know myself. This was the first thing I'd seen for it. They're doing some
actually,
cool
yeah.
particle stuff here,
To be fair,
which I can
if you
appreciate.
Google Lost Soul Aside, the first hit is "Will Lost Soul Aside ever come out?"
Oh well, there you go. It's probably
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm looking here. 10 years. 10 years it's been in
Wow.
development.
Okay.
I knew
Not
I knew I heard the name before, but then I saw this. I was like, well, I mean, this looks. It does have a vibe of an older game, slightly. I mean, the visuals in some places look great. In some places, it looks a little dated. I don't know. It's
yeah. It reminds me of Final Fantasy 15 in a lot of ways.
for sure.
They're
For sure.
a lot of sort of 15 vibes going off here. I'm interested in it though. It's
Looks cool.
looks like
cool.
an anime-ass game. That guy,
Yeah, what I know of
especially,
you, it really dials in.
yeah, May 30th though. That's coming up pretty quick. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect from it, but they're doing some cool particle stuff there with the art. I can appreciate. Demo for Yakuza, like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The Like a Dragon games are nuts. I only just recently started playing the first one, and that's a fun Steam Deck game. It's really good on Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's a wild series. I'm glad you're doing it. It like really expanded the whole Yakuza series. It's much more fun to play than the older ones, I think.
The older ones are ridiculous in their own way, but yeah, I agree. Like the way that they use RPG mechanics in tandem with like the Yakuza combat is just mwah, chef kiss on that. I'm a big fan.
Yes, we were still moving forward, and that Dave the Diver announcement there, that was unexpected, but I could see it happening because man, that game has been getting crossover on crossover on crossover.
Yeah, the crossovers for Dave the Diver are outrageous. Splitgate 2 looks like Splitgate 2. That's a known quantity.
Yeah.
This really surprised me. This trailer that's about to come up. The WWE 2K25. I'm a sucker for wrestling games. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt right now that nobody can see. I am into. And the wrestling that I play is like the create a character wrestling. So when they announced this, I was very excited because it seems like it is straight up just create a character central, building your own stuff, building your own like essentially federation. At least that's what I am reading it as and hope that it is. And they're just adding customization options. So like I'm here all day for that.
The warning at the beginning of the trailer was concerning.
Sure. These games are always concerning. They're usually bad, but
the entire game mode is not available on PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, well, you got to think PS4 is like how old
a dinosaur
now? Almost 10
now, yeah.
10 15,
oh, for sure.
20
but
12 years.
Why even release it on PS4 then?
Get that money, man. You gotta get that money as many people as you can.
Here
wrestling games. I one more note on wrestling games real quick. I haven't liked a wrestling game since No Mercy on N64. They always just seem to disappoint. It was the best one, but
No
anyway, I digress.
2K12 is my favorite recent, and when I say recent, I mean I guess within the last 15 years wrestling game. But it's hard to make a good wrestling game nowadays just because No Mercy has colored everyone's expectations. Who's at least played No Mercy,
Yeah. So Borderlands 4.
Borderlands looks
on to
good,
that.
actually.
It
Their
looks fucking
movement
good.
looks. They got some Apex looking movement, which I really appreciate. Don't need to see as much Randy Pitchford as they show, but yeah, I mean, that goes hand in hand with Borderlands, I guess.
As a Borderlands noob, I'm excited for it. Like the only Borderlands I played was the last one, and I enjoyed it.
really?
It was fun. This, I'm legitimately excited. I think it's gonna be good. It looks real fun.
I played
as somebody who
Borderlands.
hated. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I played Borderlands 1, didn't love it. Borderlands 2 I got slightly into. I think the humor in the Borderlands games is just bad. And I really hope that they steer it in a different direction with 4, being that it's like a whole new sort of spin on the franchise, I guess. It seems like they're rebooting it in a lot of ways.
It's got to be better than the movie, though, right?
Yeah.
Oof.
I'll
Yeah.
say Wonderlands was more interesting than Borderlands has been in a long time. When
Wonderlands, you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I like Borderlands 1 and I like Borderlands 2 a lot. They're both very good games. 3 was not good.
3 was bad. Yeah.
The pre-sequel also wasn't great, but it was still better than 3. So when Borderlands 4 got announced initially, I was very like, I don't give a shit. But that trailer, that made it look cool. It's getting me back in.
Yeah, I'm here. Like the gunplay looks really good, which is what I'm coming to Borderlands for.
Yes.
Right. So.
Yes.
I think that was part of what killed me with 3 was the gunplay. It just felt like a bad game coming off the heels of Apex Legends. Like that was a couple months after Apex, or like right around when Apex came out. And I remember playing it and just being like, this just feels bad. Feels bad, man. Like Apex did a lot of stuff for shooters that I am still, I guess, pining for in other games that just hasn't been there.
You may want to rewind the trailer here.
Yeah, let's
talk about this a little bit.
We can swing back on this. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. The guys who did It Takes Two, I believe they also did Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
And A Way Out.
A Way Out. I remember playing that. That was fantastic. I am very much here for this. This Split Fiction looks fantastic, and that one is coming up quick. 3/6/25.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah, that is just a week after Monster Hunter Wilds comes out.
Cool. Do you think you're gonna have to have the bandwidth for it? I don't see it happening.
It depends. And so like the other thing with this is that like you have to have like a co-pilot with you. Like you want a second player for these games, and so.
Oh, you have to though. You have to have somebody.
Yeah, you have to, and like you want somebody that like you're gonna have available and do that, which I'm sure we could swing, but it's it's a tall order with Monster Hunter a week before it. I don't know if I'll hit it until later. Do you guys know what this is coming out at price wise? I didn't see a price on it.
I'm gonna guess probably between 40 and 50. Their games usually hit that mark. I can't remember.
Say again.
So what's that? What's that in American
That's what I'm
bucks?
checking. It's probably $49.99.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds.
$45 is the actual exchange, but my guess is it'd probably be a little bit better than that. It's probably like a $45 game.
And they are doing the if you buy it, your friend can just download it and play it. Thing with it. So if you have somebody to play that one with, you just split it down the middle, and it's like $20 each. That's not bad for a good looking game
makes it
like
way
that.
more affordable for people.
Yeah. This one seems interesting.
I'm very interested in this.
This trailer surprised me. I don't know what to expect because they didn't really show much in the lines of gameplay, but I am interested in the very like sort of aliens kind of feel that they've got going on, or alien kind of feel, I should say. Aliens, not so much.
So this is made by the guys who made the Dark Pictures anthology. It's actually a Dark Pictures game.
No kidding. Those like the episodic sort of. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you played those games, you kind of get an idea what this is going to be all about. I'm sure
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of like, quick time sequences and things like that. Interesting control mechanics. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
also here for like the whole alien thing. I'm getting
Yeah.
like, big thing vibes off of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I get that
I'm
too.
here for it. Looks dope.
Just cosmic horror sort of stuff. I'm super here for that.
Yeah.
And that game is Directive 8020. Oh, they're just splashing on the screen now. Directive 8020 looks neat. October 2nd of this year too.
Yep.
Wish list now. How about that? Um, yeah, they showed some interesting new stuff here. Not a lot of gameplay on the very new things. Here we've got some obligatory Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like every
Ugh.
event has a Five Nights at Freddy's trailer at it in some way, shape, or form.
So I'm probably gonna cause some people some anger here. I don't like the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Any game in the series, I haven't liked any of them. None of them ever click. They're just, and then I love horror games. Like I've played all the Amnesia games. I've played all the Outlast games. I've played the new Resident Evil ones. Seven and Village. Love them all. Love horror. Well, for whatever reason, these games don't click with me. I don't like them, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe
Yeah,
this one will get me.
I'm kind of with you. I'm not a big horror game fellow, but even Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm just like, who cares? I have nephews and stuff that have played these games, and every time they show me it, I'm just like, what? So you look at the cameras? That's what it. This I will give them. Doesn't look like it's just looking at cameras. That looked like you're actually like going through a place and doing things. So maybe it's going to be a little bit different, but
Yeah.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
This game looks awesome. Whatever this clay creepy.
Darwin's Paradox.
I just got done saying
No.
I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of horror, but this, as far as horror is concerned, looks very interesting. This
Or is
is
this the Midnight Walk?
the Midnight
The
Walk.
Midnight
Yes.
Walk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All claymation. They
Yep.
did all the animations with clay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
whenever I see something like that, it's fascinating how they do that in a game. I know how they do it for movies,
Hmm.
but to make a game using claymation, that's something else. Like
Yeah,
this
that's
looks
wild.
very cool too.
Yeah, I'm not only am I not a horror person, I am not really a claymation person either. For me to like see this and be like, oh, this actually looks awesome, is kind of uncharacteristic. But like,
What
look
do
at
you
that
think, Val?
eyeball guy. He's so creepy.
I think it looks like you're playing through a claymation movie, so I think they've done a great job of that. Like
Mhm.
claymation was one of those things that was always around in childhood. Um, we always had claymation movies VHSs, so I think this is very nostalgia, and then throwing in horror. I don't know if it's my type of game, but it looks like it's going to be awesome. It's definitely one of those ones that I'm going to want to watch a walkthrough for.
Hmm.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and also, who can forget the seminal classic Clay Fighters?
Yeah, I don't know that I will end up playing Clay Fighters. Clay Fighters, the
Terrible fighting game on
Judgment
Super
Clay,
Nintendo.
the N64 one.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly feels like it would be something that would be amazing in VR.
This
Yes.
is Darwin's Paradox.
Yes, yeah, this is the octopus game.
Yeah.
If you had told me, if I hadn't seen the title for this, and you told me this was the new Abe's Odyssey game, I would have believed you.
I
This
could
gives
see
me
that.
Abe's Odyssey vibes.
I
Huge.
could see that for sure. It looks neat. Whatever they're doing with it. This also
Mhm.
looks wild to me. Roguelite Warriors game.
This is
Warriors
out. This
Abyss.
came
yeah.
out.
Yeah. This came out right along
after.
with this. Yeah, along with this this whole thing. I do want to play it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But
So this looks like Vampire Survivors meets Hades, kind of, with the the whole Warriors skin.
Yeah,
That's just
I
my
don't
take
know.
like a brief
I don't know
overview.
how Vampire Survivors is gonna wind up. It doesn't look to me like it's like just the two sticks.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so a better one might be Torment. I believe that's what it's called.
Okay.
Halls of Torment, maybe. I think that's what it is. Brief delay. Yeah, Halls of Torment.
Sure.
Which is Vampire Survivor E, but has like an actual attack button and all that.
Yeah, some combat
but
stuff.
It looks more
Yeah.
active than Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, that's
Sure. Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at, I guess, is it because like that's the whole thing with Warriors games is that you're constantly button mashing. So if you're not doing that, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Onimusha 2 remaster. That seems pretty cool.
Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that one coming.
I think
that was a
that's
good
just
game.
has a lot to do with them putting out this new Onimusha game, Way of the Sword, which, man, I was a big fan of this trailer. Let's discuss this. Capcom, man. Capcom is probably my favorite developer of our current day and age.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
Just killing it.
They're one of my favorite developers by themselves with just Monster Hunter, and then they like throw in all these crazy deep cuts from their catalog that they're just like, let's bring Onimusha back. Here you go. Love it.
Yeah, and make it look rad as hell.
Yeah.
Like this looks super duper good.
Yeah, this was maybe the trailer of this presentation for me. I was very impressed by and they didn't even really show much in the way of gameplay. It's just basically cinematic, and this guy hamming it up here. Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah, if this is indicative of actual... God.
I was saying it earlier, and I'll say it again. Capcom does their cutscenes so well that if this game has a mediocre amount of cutscenes, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Like right here looks like all gameplay. If that's how the gameplay is, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah, that little bit is like the gameplay that they show. It does seem like really tactical swordplay too, which I'm super here for. I'm excited to play this game. I think it's gonna be really good. This big dude just chopping all of his own guys down. Love it.
I can't wait to see what Capcom does next. I'm waiting. I'm still awaiting the Dino Crisis return, and when they do that, I'm sure that's gonna be sick as hell too.
I thought you were gonna say Deep Down, and I was like, "Dang, man, I've been waiting Deep Down for years."
Keep on waiting, brother. I want that game just as much as anybody else, but it ain't ever gonna see the light of day.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, we got Dragon's Dogma 2 though, which was surprising.
I feel like Deep Down has definitely hit the chopping block.
It's deep down in a grave.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is a known quantity, but hot damn, am I excited for this. It's going to be great.
So when this popped up, I knew what it was immediately.
Yeah, as soon as you see that doc, you're like, oh, yes.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah. I can't wait for this.
For the listeners, though, this is Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, also known as Metal Gear Delta, I believe is what they're calling it. It's like just a triangle in the title.
Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Yeah. Yep. It looks awesome.
Like Metal Gear Solid.
It looks like what you want. I know what Chris and I have a buddy who's going to be very excited to play this.
Oh, I'm right there too. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I played the absolute shit out of Metal Gear Solid 3.
I'm a Metal Gear 2 and 4 guy. 1 and 3 are great. I just like how over the top 2 and 4 are in their own ways.
Mm-hmm. And as if this isn't over the top.
Yeah. No, this isn't over the top enough. Like there's no cyber ninja paradoxes going on in this one.
They got the Shagohod though.
That's true. That's true.
But I love right here at the end of this trailer, for those who aren't watching, the reveal of the Ape Escape minigame.
Like, oh yeah, this is great.
Amazing. I think it was called Mesal Gear Solid, MESAL, rather than Metal Gear Solid. That was like the name of the mini game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy to see they brought that back remastered as well.
Yeah, August 28th for that. That's not too far off either.
Nope. What was
I
the
don't
next
know
one? I
what
think
this one is off the top of my head. I gotta look at
Is
is
this
this gonna be
Ninja
Ninja
Gaiden
Gaiden?
is this? I've been playing that a
It
little
might
bit
not be.
already.
I might have
This might be
accidentally
Hell Is Us.
glossed over this.
This may be Hell Is Us. I think it is actually.
Yeah, I somehow missed
Yes,
this on my list.
this is Hell Is Us. This looks really fascinating. Like it looks right up my alley. I'm definitely getting this. Love a good like first person or a single player, narrative driven action adventure.
I love the dude with the humongous chin. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, like what is that about?
I'm here for him.
This is how you get when you just chain smoke cigarettes all the time, I suppose.
This does not look like my kind of game, but the guy with the big chin looks like my kind of character. I'll say that.
This game, we still don't know a lot about it. It's coming soon,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
They have some like No Man's Sky looking obelisks at the end of that trailer. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Hell Is Us, September 4th,
Yeah.
2025.
Now, this surprised me.
Oh yes, this is Lies of P DLC, correct?
Yes,
This is
and
a non-standalone expansion. This is a whole expansion to you have to have the base game for it, from what I understand.
yes, and oddly enough, it's apparently a prequel, which strikes me as odd, considering your character wakes up at the beginning of the main game. Not to spoil or anything. It's the start of the game.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's very odd that they're doing a prequel rather than any kind of expansion. But hey, more Lies of P for me is awesome. Lies of P was a fantastic game.
yeah, this cinematically looks very neat.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks awesome.
Do you have a bugle in like what is
In
the
the-
bugle for? Yeah,
That's new. The bugle's
that's new. Bugle's new.
It's new.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so, like,
there's a bunch of new weapons I'm seeing in there.
These bosses look very cool.
Yeah. Some of the bosses in the base game are some of the hardest. I hate to use the term Souls-like, but the hardest Souls-like bosses I've ever come up against, and I've completed every Souls game that's ever been released.
Oh yeah, I must have lapsed here for a few moments when I was making this list, but next up is Dreams of Another. This is by the Pixel Junk people, who I was talking about the last podcast, or I was talking about with you, Chris, at the very least. Pixel Junk Shooter is the one that I had mentioned to you, where you're in the submarine and just flying around the depths.
So this looks weird, and apparently it's a VR game.
Yeah, it looks like entirely voxel based.
Yeah.
I have no idea
shoot
what
things to create things.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what was the game that the Little Big Planet people made? Dreams.
Dreams. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that, but not. I guess it's because it's just shoot very obscure things, and they turn into other things. I guess I don't know. It's hard to tell based on the trailer what this game actually is.
Yeah,
it looks weird. It looks good for what it is, but it looks weird.
Yeah, for sure. I
mean, until you play it, you're not gonna know anything about it. It just looks so avant-garde and just out there. Definitely a artistic vision here, and I'm curious about it, to say the least.
Yeah, same here. I hope it's
Yeah.
not like a super full price game. Is it? Do you
Oh,
know?
boy.
Is it PSVR only, or is it either? Or?
I gotta hope it's both. I gotta hope it's both, because
Okay.
it looks like it's a third person, over the shoulder kind of
Yeah.
deal. So I don't think those personally work in VR very well.
It
Right.
says PS5 and PSVR too, so it should be
Okay.
both.
All right.
Yep. So another game that shocked me here.
Yeah. Did anybody buy? I'm sure you bought this game, Chris. But did any
I
other
have it.
human buy this game? Is the
Yeah,
question.
plenty of people own it. Plenty of people own it. For those listening, this is the Days Gone remaster. Um,
How many of
I-
these
I-
people own it by choice, though?
Yeah.
hey, I bought it. Yeah,
That's not a
hey,
fair
hey.
question.
Let me say this. It has faults. However, driving around that motorcycle is way more fun than it has any right to be. It's if you like driving around open worlds, that motorcycle is one of the better motorcycles I've ever used in a video game.
Top cycle. Are you
Oh,
saying it's better than?
It's better than that. Yeah, it's better than that.
Is it better than the motorcycles in Road Rash? Is the real question.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I love Road Rash, and I'm a Road Rash stan. You know that. I
Yeah.
love some Road Rash. But, like, that game has some very, very good driving. It's a lot of fun. And I feel like a lot of people didn't give it any kind of chance.
I'm not a zombie guy, so I wrote it off
I know.
immediately. There's too many zombie games, man. I'll play certain ones, but that one did. I did think they're like the number of zombies on screen stuff was pretty neat, but that was as far as they got me. I did not end up picking that one up. Never got into these Life is Strange games. This is another Life is Strange Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 1, which came out today, the 18th of February.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you guys ever play any of those games? I never got into them.
No.
Nope. Sadly, it was never my cup of tea. I like episodic games, but that hit in a period where like I was burned out on that.
Yeah.
We were coming off the heels of all the Walking Dead ones, the Game of Thrones ones.
Oh, sure. Like the Telltale. Yeah.
Yeah, the entire Telltale genre, like, it just burned everybody out.
I'm with you.
And then burn themselves out.
Yeah.
I would love another Wolf Among Us game, though. That would be.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
They announced that.
They've been saying
2
that for a
years
long
ago
time.
No, they showed a trailer. They showed a trailer and they announced it 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, we'll see. This looks really cool. Abiotic Factor as a multiplayer game.
It's
if
got
you wanna,
like
go
N64
back to-
graphics. Well, yeah, I'll
Go back to the start of that. Yeah, it's a.
It's straight up
So-
like N64 graphics.
Perfect.
It's cracking me up.
Hey, you don't need good graphics for a good game, man. You don't need them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll still go back and play some N64 games, but it does look like all the environments look normal, and then like they have the people who just look like little polygon folks.
So I've been looking at that a bunch. Because it's on PC right now. I think it might still be in early access, if I'm not mistaken. But it is a survival game, a co-op survival game. But instead of being like a procedurally generated world, it's this huge underground lab, essentially, and like you need to survive the like anomalous horrors that are deeper and deeper down. You work with your team, you set traps, you build things. Every monster that's in it, which apparently is quite a few, has their own weaknesses to things, and you got to figure out how to deal with them. Some are benign, some are threatening. It looks very cool. I think it'd be a lot of fun to play that as a group.
It looks like they spent their entire budget on Skybox.
Yeah.
And they
Hey.
couldn't afford models.
You can waste money in a lot of places.
Oh, man. I'm
Skyboxes.
pausing the screen right here because this pumped me up. But go ahead, keep your conversation
Oh,
going.
no, I'm gonna say I think that's gonna be a game that we should probably play for this for this very show. I think I think it'll be a lot of fun. That seems like a game you
Oh,
want
I
to play
think
with your
it'll be.
buddies.
Yeah, I think that'll be absolute jokes to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead,
was
Tim. I know what's on
very
screen right now is your
I was
jam.
very excited about both of the things they announced here for adding to the PlayStation Classics catalog is the original Armored Core and the following two games, Armored Core Project Phantasma and Armored Core Master of Arena. But more importantly, even than Armored Core, Patapon 3 coming back as a PlayStation Plus classic. I love the Patapon games. I wish they would make another Patapon game. They're one of my all-time favorite rhythm games by
So,
far and beyond many others.
with that in mind, is that going to sell you on a PlayStation Plus premium subscription?
I would love to know if I could just buy Patapon 3 because that's the only game I really want to play.
I don't know. I mean, I think you might have to get in that catalog monthly,
Yeah.
maybe pay
Yeah.
per month.
I'm pretty sure I own Patapon 3 through like their old classics program. I don't know if it carries up to PS5 if you can play those, but like I used to be able to play it on PS3, I think.
It is available today.
Yes. Yeah, this all came out today, yeah. Coming soon, available on premium. But yeah, I had to give a shout out to Patapon because man, what games
more of
they
that.
were. They were incredible. I think. Oh, this is. I'm gonna put a little bit of audio on here for a second.
Yeah, this is Tides of Annihilation.
This is the Shadowheart game. Shadowheart is voicing the main lady here.
Yep.
This looked very cool too. I'm kind of excited for this. This is probably my second favorite cinematic trailer they showed for this.
Is that why I recognize the voice during this?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's 100% Shadowheart. That is why you would recognize it.
I couldn't place it when I was watching it.
Same cadence and tone of voice. Like it might as well be Shadowheart. And that statue they showed there when they showed the developer logo looked like the statue of Shar. So I'm like, what's going on here? Did you just take some assets and take the voice actor, just roll with it?
Is this an epic crossover?
It's got some like Shadow of the Colossus vibes going on. It's got some Baldur's Gate vibes going on because Shadowheart's
just because of the voices.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for this game. It looks cool. It looks like some Devil May Cry ass combat, which I'm all about.
Yep. Epic boss fights.
Yeah. This looks right up my alley for sure. I am super here for this game.
Yeah, I'll be getting that day one. This looks very good.
And yeah, like real slick looking graphics too. It's very impressive. Man.
Yeah, as long as it plays as well as it looks, this might be a game of the year contender, like a dark horse one if it plays right. I think this is 2026.
This might be 2026. I don't have a date on this one. I don't think they gave us a
no.
date
This
for
is
it.
an early look.
But man,
and that's okay.
Way to come out swinging. Tides of Annihilation in development for PS5. I wonder if it's PS5 exclusive. It looks that way.
Probably a
sword.
PC PS5.
Ooh, we got blood. We got a lady. What is this one? This is another new IP, Metal Eden.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this one.
Titanfall.
So, do we think this is a multiplayer game, or is this a?
It's hard to say. Like parts of it they show look multiplayer-ish, and then parts of it look single player. So I'm thinking maybe multiplayer
modes, maybe
like arena mode, and then like some single player combat. Also maybe just some co-op ass multiplayer. It's hard. It's really hard to say for this because they do show gameplay, but they don't show anything that would point in that direction, really, except for.
Speaking of the gameplay, like I'm loving the movement system, like the wall
movement
running,
looks really solid.
Yeah.
Some like Titanfall-esque movement for sure.
Steam says single player.
Single player.
Okay.
May 6th.
That's coming soon,
pretty
too.
soon.
It's got
Yeah.
major Titanfall vibes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Build a Rocket Boy. The studio is headed up by the Benz, the former Rockstar developer and creator of games, beloved games such as Grand Theft Auto. This looks interesting.
Yeah, this is another game that's right up my alley. Love an open world driving shooting game. I mean, we see in this trailer, kind of, it's all over the place. I mean, there's this sci-fi vibe. You can't tell if it's gonna be in space or it's gonna be on ground. But then they show a lot of car combat, like right here, car driving, which looks pretty slick.
Yeah, that looks like you can tell that they worked on Grand Theft Auto when you see the car whipping around the thing.
For sure. Like all these, even like the presentation here in the trailer gives off big Grand Theft Auto vibes. Like this is a sci-fi Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, their
Is what I'm
main character looks like the least bombastic thing in this game. he just looks like random Joe Schmo picked up a gun.
Guy.
And it's just like, okay. The other guy has like tattoos all over his face. Is like part cyborg, and this guy's just like, yep, just curly head Schmo.
He got he got caught up in all this.
Yeah, somehow
he got sucked into it.
Just there he is. There's the Benz.
Cool.
If you're watching the video version, Leslie Benzies in the flesh, talking about his game.
I didn't know they called him the Benz, but you know what?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, he's like so like even after he left Rockstar, they would call him in to like fix stuff that they needed fixed toward the end of development. Like he was a big deal at that studio, and then he left to make this Build a Rocket Boy studio that he's now heading up.
I mean, it looks beautiful. Like it looks very, very good. If it, like I said, if it plays like it looks, I'm definitely, this is a day one purchase for me.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know if I will end up buying it day one, but I would definitely play it.
GTA 6 before GTA 6.
Yeah. If this launches before GTA 6, that'd be something.
I
don't see it happening,
GTA.
but man, I think that'd be kind of fun if they would do if he does that, or if they do that.
Mind's Eye,
summer,
that
right?
is. That is summer 2025. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then
here,
I think
wrapping
this
up
is
the show.
the last one, right? Yep. Looks
Yeah.
like Saros.
This surprised me.
Or Saris. I don't know what you would call it. I thought it was Death Stranding 2 at first when I saw him on the beach. I was like, this is another Death Stranding. They already announced Death Stranding 2. It's a weird one to end off the show, and then it was not that. So it was a good thing.
How is this not Returnal 2? And I say it because it's like the exact same kind of premise, lone hero on a dying world and dying and repeating. And I thought immediately when you see the reflection in his eyes, you see like the bullet hell pattern coming at him. You see like the and you'll see that later in the trailer here. I was like, okay, this is clearly Returnal 2, and I'm all about that. I love Returnal 1. I still don't know if it is a sequel or not, or if it's just a new IP and the same like kind of just evolution of their mechanics. Either way, it looks cool based on this trailer alone.
Yeah, they got this 8-armed guy with the end of the world happening here.
So there's that bullet hell pattern I was talking about. You see yeah.
I thought it was like a Helldivers spin-off at first based on his outfit, because he had like the black and yellow cape going down the back. And I was like, Oh, weird. They're already doing some new Helldivers stuff, but then they splashed up the screen at the end with the
Housemark.
house mark. Yeah, come back
Those.
stronger. 2026. So, not much information on this game other than just a little teaser, and that was what they ended the show off on. There's Gregory Loudon, their creative director, talking it up, but that is pretty much it for the state of play. I'm gonna just play this again here.
Yep.
What are your guys' thoughts on the like just the presentation overall? Yeah.
Val, do you want to go first on that one?
I mean, sure. I think it was fine. There wasn't too much crazy stuff that they were showing us. There was some new stuff, of course, but like, I feel like we knew about a lot of this stuff already.
A lot of known quantities, so I agree.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing that I'm overly excited for. A few games that look good. There's stuff that looks good that's just not my game, so I'm not excited for it. But I think
Mhm.
people should be excited for. But I think overall it was. I mean, it was a month into the year. I think it's a good. This is what we've got coming this year type thing.
Right. I didn't expect anything huge for it being like a February state of play, but they did show some interesting things. Go ahead, Chris. What were your thoughts on this?
I think I liked it a lot more than you guys maybe did. I think they did. There's a lot there that I like personally. My tastes are obviously different than you guys in some ways. Um,
It did
but some
seem
of the stuff
like they made this specifically with you in mind. I
they
don't
did.
know.
They called. They actually
Yeah.
emailed me like a week before, like, listen,
Yeah.
we get your take on it. Here's the slate we're gonna put on there, and I helped them out a little bit. But no, so some things I knew about, some things I didn't. Like I said, there was a few that actually really did like catch me off guard, like the Liza P Overture, Days Gone remastered. Um, really surprised again to see Lost Soul Aside because I thought that was just I thought that was vaporware for years.
Yeah, that's crazy that they. I didn't even realize it was that long in the making. I did know that it was a while in the making, but that's crazy to know that it's 10 years.
Yeah, they announced it for PS4. I think back like I think at at E3 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been obviously a decade. So it's it's been a minute. But yeah, some of the stuff is just like known quantities and things like that. But I liked it a lot. I'm excited to see if these games actually do hit their target release dates or anywhere
Yeah.
close. I have a feeling some of these are getting pushed out. Mind's Eye does not look like a game that's going to launch this year. Um, Hell is Us, that's been in the works for a while, so that might hit. I'm hoping it does. But yeah, there's a lot to like. I think this is a good. Actually, you know what? In general, as a gamer, not just PlayStation, just across the board, I think this is going to be like a top-notch year.
For games, absolutely. Yeah,
For
a
games,
lot
yeah.
of a lot of the announcements that they put in here are pre summer announcements. They spattered in a couple summer fall announcements here, but a lot of this stuff is going to be out this year, and it looks pretty good. I'd say I'd give it like a B as far as presentations are concerned. They didn't wow me, but they did bring some things to the table that I was like, oh, this looks really good. This is a new IP, brand new stuff that they're pumping out. Or in some cases, like Onimusha, we're resurrecting this shit from the grave and gonna really impress you with some new Onimusha.
Boy, I hope it's as good as it looks, because if so, it's going to be just another just gem for Capcom that they
Yeah.
can just keep going with.
The gameplay they showed looked really early, so I'm
Hmm.
excited to see where it goes at the very least.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent presentation. Like I said, I give it around a B, which is pretty
Yeah, I think I
high
agree.
for me. I think they put some solid stuff in there, and I'm sure they held a lot back for their like E3-esque presentation that they're surely do in
Some
June or whenever that might be.
Almost certainly.
summer game fest.
Yeah.
Or whatever Keeley does this year. I'm sure it's gonna be Summer Game Fest again.
Sure.
I'm sure we'll see just a ton of new stuff.
Yeah.
But we will talk about that when it happens, right?
Yeah, I mean we're getting into the era of the current gen consoles that you're starting to see a lot of like the horsepower of these consoles really finally being utilized. Not as many like PlayStation 4 or Xbox Series S games that are being touted in these presentations. So I'm excited to see just like people utilizing all the power that's at their fingertips with these newer generation consoles. Finally.
Definitely.
All right. So to round out the show here, we're at about close to an hour, but we should talk really quickly, I think, about 3 games that we want to bring to the table for our first official stick or bomb selection for next week. So, would one of you guys like to go first, or shall I?
Val, do you want to take the lead, or want me to go? Do you want me to go?
I can go first. So I feel like we're all probably going to be playing Avowed in the next week or so, so I'm not going to bring that one forward. I think that's kind of just a given, just like Monster
Smart.
Hunter for the next week. Like I think that's kind of predetermined as the AAA game of the week. But I really think we should. I was playing it a bit. I think we should all go jump on Orcs Must Die too. I think it was hilarious, and it would be way more fun with a group of people just joking, killing millions of orcs.
Tell us a bit about it. I did play Orcs Must Die 1, but for the audience, let's hear a bit about it.
And for me, I have not played any Orcs Must Die.
Okay, so think third-person shooter tower defense. Place traps, waves of orcs come, kill the orcs. You've got 7 classes, all with different weapons and abilities, and it's just survive the waves. It's I mean the art style is half decent. It's a really funny game because the orcs are so dumb. The traps are ridiculous. It's on Game Pass, so it's an easy one to grab. And honestly, it's a fun multiplayer game to jump into.
I like it. Is it multiplayer only? I can't remember how the first one was.
I mean, I was playing single player. You can play multiplayer, but it's not multiplayer only.
Well, I guess I mean, is there a campaign, or is it all the
No,
same
it's just survive the waves.
Right. Okay.
Okay, is there like a progression system in it that?
Yeah,
Makes
there's
itself
different
apparent?
worlds. It progresses. Like you can play the same map. You can keep going within the same map. It gets harder and harder as you progress. There's multiple maps and stuff. So it's one of those ones that it's funny and fun.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm
Alright,
here
so
for
Orcs
funny
Must
and
Die.
fun.
Orcs
2.
Must Die. What's the? This is Orcs Must Die 2.
Death Trap. Is
Death
what it-
Trap. Okay.
Yeah.
Death Trap. All right.
I think I have that one downloaded already. Actually, downloaded
Avowed
Avowed today as well. Because I do
Mhm.
want to check that out. It looks very nice. Don't know how I'll feel about the gameplay because I'm going into that one blind. I've not looked at anything on Avowed.
Yeah, I won't bring Avowed to the table either. That's again a given. I won't tell you guys to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but everybody should.
I saw enough Kingdom Come Deliverance too. I can tell you straight up, there's no chance I'm playing that one. It's...
No, I'm not gonna bring that one to the table. I know that ain't for you, but for the audience, it's an absolutely stellar RPG if you like rewarding stuff. But the game I'm going to bring forward is a game that actually just released last week or 5 days ago. It's called Dawn Folk. It's on Steam. It is uh, it's a city builder. With like a resource management city builder, right? So the world is shrouded in darkness. You start out with a few tiles, and with your main town, your main like hub on it, and you build around and you build out. You spend resources to expand the map. The resource is light, and then you have resources that are you have people, you have food, and you have materials. You need to spend each type of resource to do things like you need people resources to farm for food or to dig for materials. You need light resources to expand the map. Um, uh, Materials resources to build new structures and unlock new things. There's like a real cool synergy effect. So if you build a farm next to a wheat field or a cornfield, it'll get extra bonus materials out of it. So you got to try to plan your city accordingly. There's random quests that pop up. Things happen to like your fisherman might go missing, and if you can spend resources to go find him, and if you do, it might lead to something else. It's a very chill game too. It's pretty passive. Um, it's a very fun game. I only put about 3 hours in so far, but I think it's right now. I think it's like $13 on sale. Normally $15, so not terribly pricey. It gives me big Loop Hero vibes. If you were
Okay.
a fan of Loop Hero,
I've played Loop Hero. Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of like that, but more city building um
Looping.
than looping. Yeah.
And what
Yeah, so
sort of like art style are we talking? Is this like is it
it's
similar art style to Loop Hero?
yes, that yeah, it has a similar vibe to Loop Hero in that way. It's it's a minimalist kind of graphics.
Sure.
Um, some of the neat things about it though, they incorporated little mini games into the tiles, right? Like you'll have a forest with you can see animals on the tile, so you can go hunt animals. And there's a tiny little mini game that pops up where you move the bow and arrow around the bottom of the box, and like they move across the box. You got to try to like time your shots to get them.
It's like Oregon
There's
Trail.
in a little bit in that way, yeah. I would say go out onto the Steam page for it. Watch the trailer. It gives it
There's a demo as well.
there's a demo as well, yeah. So if you don't want to buy it, just get the demo. But like I think this is a great game. Made by one developer. Looks like he poured a lot of soul into it.
Okay, that sounds cool.
So Dawn Folk.
I Dawn Folk. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I am, but before I bring up my game, I do want to mention that this week I've played, and last week, for that matter, I played quite a bit of Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Oh yeah.
Which is a fantastic game. Known quantity, we're probably not going to cover it on this, so I just wanted to give it a shout out, because it's Civ. I do have some problems with it that I'm sure they will fix as time goes on, but it does sort of feel like a Civ 7 beta more so than a full
Yes.
game. And that's kind of my big issue with it at the moment.
I fully agree with that assessment of that. I love it a lot, but there are problems.
Yeah, it plays like Civ. If you've never played the Civ games, you should absolutely play all the Civ
Go
games.
pick up one of the other 6 that are very
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think six, the anthology of six with all DLC is like $8 right now on Steam or something like that.
Yeah, I think if you want to get into Civ, 5 is the one to buy at this point. But
Yeah,
Um,
5 was very good. 6 was okay.
6, yeah, 6 has its ups and downs, but 5
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
5's probably like peak Civ, honestly, at this point. But my game to bring to the table for our stick or bomb selection is one that we've slightly discussed, and one that I know we have between all three of us. Dokapon Kingdom Connect. A little background on Dokapon. It is basically a board game, sort of Monopoly style. You're going around, landing on towns that you can buy, landing on open spaces that get you into fights, which introduces the other half of the game, which is like a rock paper scissors sort of styled RPG. With all these RPG mechanics behind it, your character, you actually pick a starting class for your character. I think it's rogue, warrior, or mage to start out, but as you play more, you master those classes, get new classes, and you can go back to the castle and visit the king of Dokapon Kingdom to do his bidding. He's always got some bullshit for you to do, and it's an Atlas game. It's got a really sort of unique art style to it. I have always liked that. It came out originally on the Wii, and they recently, as in like last year, I believe, or maybe the year before, re-released it as Dokapon Kingdom Connect on the Switch and the PC most recently. And so we all have it on PC. Chris and I have a long-standing Switch version of the game that we still have yet to complete. It is a long-ass game. That's one downfall of it, I will say, is that like you can just play it for an eternity unless you're just like bashing your head against it and really trying to get through it. But very fun to just pick up and play per session, and just like bullshit with your friends. It is the most cutthroat, maybe any type of game, board game, video game, you name it, might be the most cutthroat game I've ever played. Like, if you want to win, you got to be a dick, and you're gonna hate each other by the end of Dokapon Kingdom. And that's my personal recommendation for our sticker bomb. So between the three games that we've got Dokapon Kingdom, we've got Orcs Must Die 2, or what did you say it was? Orcs Must Die Downfall?
Deathloop?
Deathloop.
Death Trap.
Death Trap.
Trap.
Okay.
Sorry, Death Trap.
And Chris, I'm sorry I forgot the name of the one that you just said.
It's all right. Dawn Folk.
Dawn Folk.
DAWNFOLK. All one word. Dawn Folk.
Okay. So what are we thinking? How are you guys leaning any specific direction as far as the game we pick for next week? What do y'all want to do?
So, I like the idea of doing a multiplayer game because that gives us more of an opportunity. So, as much as I would love people to play Dawn Folk, and anybody listening, I think you should. And I'm gonna bring this game back again at some point.
Yeah, I do. I want to look at it a bit. I'm so not familiar with it, but
I think I like the idea of us talking about Dokapon Kingdom Connect because that's another game that I feel like deserves love and exposure, and more people should buy it.
yeah, I mean, if at the end of the day, that's my main goal, is to have more people buy Dokapon so they make more Dokapon, because it is so fun. They recently did a remake of like one of the very old Dokapon games, which also check that out maybe, but Dokapon Kingdom's the one you want to start with. That is the quintessential Dokapon game.
Which way are you leaning?
I'm
wanted
happy
to get into
with
Dokapon.
that.
So when we picked it up, we've had it sitting for a while now, and it looks like it's gonna be hilarious and horrible all at once. And I think if the podcast continues after we play it, then we know it's good.
Yes, yes. If we're still here, still friends, and able to talk about it like civilized human beings, then you're right.
I'm with you.
That being said, I'm down. I've already installed the Dawnfolk demo because I really do want to try that. I loved Loop Hero, and when we were talking about it before the podcast, it reminds me of Loop Hero without the looping, and I'm totally down for that. So I'm gonna give the demo a try no matter what. I've already played Orcs Must Die, so I'm all for Dokapon.
All right. I think we settle with Dokapon. I think it's an appropriate first game for our sticker bomb conversation. Yeah, so let's call it Dokapon Kingdom Connect. Next week we will return with our thoughts on Dokapon Kingdom Connect, and we'll pick another 3 games to bring to the table and decide on another one.
Sounds great. Everybody come back and check that out. It's gonna be a fun conversation.
Yeah. As always, we love you all. Like and subscribe to the channel. Have a good day and a wonderful night if it's the nighttime where you live.
Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.